and this is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and if it is Friday morning, your business matters. You are listening to WSIC, and this is the #1 talk business show in all of the Villes. I'm talking from Statesville all the way to Huntersville, or anywhere you can hear this. We do appreciate you listening. We have spoke with well over 650 small business owners over the years, and we thank you for that. And one of the things we do is bring in a co-host every month, and this month's co-host is spectacular. I tell you, spectacular. Tracy, she is the founder and CEO of Mental Edge Fitness Solutions. Hey, Tracy, how are you?
I am doing amazing, Joe. Hope you're doing great this morning.
I am doing wonderful. Now, we don't really know each other, right? We met because you were a guest on the show.
That's right.
How long ago was that?
That was back in February, beginning of this year.
I mean, like, it seemed like a lifetime ago.
It really does.
But when you were here, I just really liked you, and so did my company factotum, Julie. She sent me a text in the middle of your interview and said, "Oh, I'm going to get her to be a co-host."
Yes.
So
Thanks,
were
Julie.
You were a slam dunk for co-host before you even finished your first interview. So
That's amazing.
It's been long in coming. Thank you so much for taking the time. So Tracy, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I want to reintroduce you to the people listening. So remind them, what is Mental Edge Fitness Solutions? What is that you actually do?
Awesome. So that's one of my companies that I have. I'm the founder of Mental Edge Fitness Solutions and also New Mentality PC. And they're both located in Mooresville, so one of the Villes. And Mental Edge Fitness is more of a mental fitness performance company. Our services include science-based services like biofeedback, neurofeedback, mental edge yoga, and mental edge meditation.
Okay, should I understand what any of that meant?
No, you should not. Let me go through that for you. So what we do for our clients is we help improve their mental fitness. We do brain mapping, which looks at about 19 different areas of the brain. So we can see how well people focus, how well they relax, how well they respond to stress. So we take a baseline assessment of their mental fitness. With that information, we can create programs and training protocols to help improve their focus, attention, performance. So Mental Edge Fitness was designed to go inside of other organizations to improve the mental fitness of their staff. A lot of times when we look at performance, we might think about physical fitness, but I don't think we think enough about the mental piece of that.
No, and that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around here, right? This is not a...
It's not a common business that you see.
Well, and when I first started thinking about what you do for fitness, I'm thinking athletic needs,
right,
and professionals. You are putting this in a business setting, correct?
Absolutely. So currently we're inside of a gym called Farrell's, where they take care of the physical piece. They do kickboxing, resistance training. Our goal and our job is to come in and perform the mental fitness, looking at the brain, looking at the body through yoga and meditation. We're also inside of a retirement community called Trinity Oaks in Salisbury, where we're helping prevent cognitive decline. So their residents there have everything from nutrition, from physical wellness. We come in again and provide a mental fitness component, educating them on their brain health, but also providing tools to enhance their brain performance so we can help prevent cognitive decline.
Okay, now I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to give me a test.
Yes.
And you're going to say, Joe, you're starting to get old. and through that test, you're going to be able to do what? How are you going to be able to help me? Because you're going to be assessing where I'm weak. What is that weakness? How does that show up mentally?
Yep, so we're going to give you a mental fitness test. It's not going to show you that you're getting old. It's going to show you your mental strengths and mental weaknesses. So think about your brain. It's a muscle, and so if we don't train it in the right ways, it will atrophy or decline. So we're going to see how well you are with focused tasks. We're going to see how well you do with memory, organization, decision making. Once we gather that data, we can kind of compare you to the norms of where you should be. So any areas that are not performing well, let's say they're overactive. A lot of times an overactive brain for us can show us signs of stress, anxiety, racing thoughts, trouble shutting that mind off. If your brain is not producing...
Which means I don't sleep very good.
Exactly. It's going to interrupt your sleep.
Exactly. I'm getting the hang of this. Okay.
And so if your brain is not quite producing enough power, we're going to see the trouble with focus, processing, memory, mood regulation. So that test gives us a baseline of where you are mentally. If we know where you are, we know how to show you how to improve that so that you can perform better, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a professional. All of us can benefit from training.
So do the common profile of a client, do they come to you with a problem? Like in my case, I got to take a nap at 3:15. I'm just telling you that right now.
Right.
I mean, I'm a nap man. I enjoy relaxing at 3:15.
Yeah.
I'm back at it again at about 4:30.
Power naps are awesome for the brain. They really are. Gives you a little mental charge, right? So normally people come to us at Mental Edge Fitness. They come to us because they want to perform better. So they may be an athlete, or they may be a student. They may be a professional saying, you know what, I need a mental edge. I need something else because sometimes my thoughts get in the way of my performance. So let's say we have an athlete, for example. I'm a former athlete from Wake Forest University. A lot of our wins and losses had nothing to do with our physical talent. It came down to the mental blocks that we faced. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right? So a lot of people get stuck. So some of our clients come to us because they're stuck mentally, and they've tried other things, and they're recognizing that they're working on their nutrition, they're working on their physical fitness, they're working on other practices, and that's not quite unblocking that mental block. So they come to us so that we can actually see where they're getting stuck, and we train their brain through neurofeedback to help get over that hump.
Okay, what now? You don't lost me. you went and then made up a word. Neurofeedback. What is that?
Neurofeedback is the direct training of the brain. So let me talk about that a little bit. So you know how I said we get this first baseline assessment, this mental fitness test? That's called a brain map. After we map your brain and see where you are, how strong you are in certain areas, the areas that need some improvement, we do what's called neurofeedback, which is neuro's the brain. We get feedback on how the brain is performing. So what we do is we place a couple sensors on our client's scalp.
Whoa,
yeah, we're going to get into it now, Joe. We're going to get into it. We're going to place some sensors on the scalp.
Is it going to hurt?
No pain at all. Non-invasive, no pain. You got a couple little sensors, and you'll be in front of a computer screen with us, and you're going to see your brain's electrical activity.
That'd be a scary thought, see my brain.
You're going to have to come to the office, I'm telling you.
You're right.
I need to get you trained, my friend.
Okay, so you're going to hook me up
I'm gonna hook
and give me electric shock.
No electric shock here. We're just going to record. So have you ever worn like a heart rate monitor, something that measured your heart rate, tracked your steps? Those are all types of feedback. There's biofeedback, feedback from the natural responses from your body. Neurofeedback looks at the natural responses from your brain. So the idea behind what we do is if we can see on a computer screen how your brain is performing, how well you're focusing, how well you're relaxing, how well you're responding to stressors, we give you feedback in real time. So you'll be in front of a screen. We're going to give you some type of feedback. It might be in a game form or a movie form. You're going to be watching this screen. And if you are focused in an optimal state, you will be able to see the movie very clearly, or you'll be able to move your little character pretty fast. If you get distracted or go off task, kind of like Joe does normally, when he goes off task,
she knows I'm gonna fail this test. I see it coming already.
As soon as you zone out, Joe, your character will stop moving. The movie will be dim. No action. Right? You only get
my
feedback.
little man will be sitting there.
He's going to be sitting there. We're going to have to take some extra sessions with you, my friend, but that's okay.
I'm sure
that's okay.
Okay.
So when you get in your zone, when you get focused, when you find that spot, the screen's going to get really, really bright. You're going to know that you're there. So what we do is we train our clients with these feedback right in front of their face over and over and over again. They're getting information on when they're doing well, but when they're not doing so well. Over time, that builds new neural networks. So we create a new pathway for the brain to operate in. So that mental block that I was talking about earlier, when people get stuck there, they don't know why they're getting stuck. They just know that they're stuck. We can actually show them where they're getting stuck and how to get through it. So after time passes, their brain will naturally get into that state.
So you will give them exercises or something that they would do at home? Is that how that would work?
So it's actually a natural process. So we teach them breathing exercises and tools, but the brain does what it does on its own. So when they come in and see us for that 20 to 30-minute training session, that's their brain work. That's their workout. So that part of that process is let your brain do what it naturally does. And when you keep coming back, a couple 20 to 30 sessions, and you'll be good to go.
She said 20 or 30 to me.
Joe, we might need a couple rounds.
4, right?
Yes.
So on your website, it says, train the mind, the body will follow. And you really believe that. I mean, that is what you work towards.
That is what I work towards. I'm super passionate about mental health, mental fitness, and I believe that brains create worlds. Brains run organizations. Brains lead this country. Brains create ideas and innovate. And if we're not looking at our brain health, and if we're not training our mind to see through situations, then we're in trouble, right? Because normally, I think about this all the time when I'm going through a tough workout. I've recently started running, and I realize how mental running is. I'm an athlete, but I'm used to doing sprints and, you know, just that quick back and forth. But I've been running recently, training for a 10K, and I'm just realizing how mental it is. And so when I say train the brain and train the mind, the body will follow, as soon as you tell yourself, I'm done, I can't go anymore, you notice it in your body. Your body feels that. When you say, one more time, you got this, let's go, keep going, some way or another, you just find the momentum and you build off of that. So we got to train the mind a little bit better for people to get stronger here.
So let's back up. Now, we don't have to go back to 1962. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. But walk me through your background. You know, you said you were an athlete. So walk me through some of that, because you don't just wake up one day and decide, hey, I think I'm going to put some electric shockers on people's heads and train them.
Exactly.
So how does that happen?
How does that happen? So I got to start back a little ways. We're not going to go back to 1962, but we're going to go back a ways, because I'm a product of my parents. I've had some really good teaching and training, and I know my parents, when we grew up, there was nothing that we couldn't do. They started us off with that mindset. They used to read the book to me all the time, The Little Engine That Could. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And then we started changing that saying from I think I can to I know I can.
You know, this reminds me, my brothers and I talk about this all the time about my father. My father had probably one of the best work ethics of anybody I've ever met, right? And he would say to us, we can be whatever we want.
Yeah.
But whenever we had a good day, a good moment, a good exercise, he would always remind us somebody's better or something. So it's as if he kind of knocked us down a little bit. There was no need for that knockdown. Right. And I think that's just that generation.
Absolutely.
You don't want to get a big head.
That's right. You got to stay ready, right?
And in this generation, my son, I try and give him the big head, because I'm sure somebody else in the world is going to knock it down. So what you're describing is this mental belief that let's make tomorrow a little bit better than today. What is it we can do to do that?
And first thing you can do is recognize the power of the mind, the power of your thoughts, the power of what you're saying to yourself. And I went to school at Wake Forest for sociology. Then I went to Lenore Ryan University, got my master's in clinical counseling. And then I went to a conference, because we have to get continuing education hours for our license. I went to a conference in Cary in 2010. And a veteran I tell this story all the time because it's so powerful, and this was the changing moment for me. A veteran spoke to our group via Skype. He suffered with post-traumatic stress disorder. He was on 36 different medications. He attempted suicide 5 times.
36. I couldn't remember what pill to take when.
Right. 36 different medications, Joe. Attempted suicide 5 times, lost his entire family. At that moment when he was talking to our group, he was down to 5 medications, reintegrated back with his family. His job and his purpose, he said he was going to tell the world about biofeedback and neurofeedback, how it changed his life, how he learned about his brain and his body, how he found some alternatives to really begin to understand his own physiology. And in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to bring this back to my clientele, to the people that we serve. And so I've just dug in deep. 2012, I'd opened up my first practice, New Mentality, treating mental health disorders with bio and neurofeedback.
So your mom and dad, what did they do for a living? Like when they woke up in the morning, I don't think they thought, I'm going to raise this perfect, positive child. Because, you know, that's what you are.
Oh,
you are like
definitely not perfect.
Miss Positive.
Thank you. Well, I have positive role models. And Mental Edge Fitness is really true and strong to my heart right now, because I just lost my mom in March of this year. So talking about being mentally fit is a big deal to me.
Right.
You know, and so my parents, they're just good, humble people.
But where this positive I mean,
really, my parents, I mean, that's what they are. I mean, if you, especially if you meet my dad.
Right.
If you meet, and I know he's listening right now. We say,
hey, Papa.
Hey, Daddy, I love you.
Positive Papa.
And my mama's watching too, but my dad is just, he is a light If anybody who meets him, he's like, he's always so happy. He's always smiling. So I think that was modeled to me from a very young age. So DNA is definitely, and genetics is a big part of who I am.
So there wasn't this switch. It's just a way of life for you that's always been that way.
It's always been like that for me, Joe. But one thing I do know, it can be trained and it can be taught.
Right.
It can be trained.
And that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing.
Let's take a break. When we come back, part of your responsibility and job as a co-host
homework.
is to bring something from the Google.
I got you.
Okay. And so we're gonna talk about something when you get back.
Thanks, Joe.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am talking with a spectacular woman. I mean, absolutely dynamite. Tracy, she is New Mentality PC and also Mental Edge Fitness Solutions. If you want to be happy, if you want to feel good,
come see me.
We got it. That's, you know what? How can they reach you?
Thank you. I can be reached at New Mentality Inc. So that's NEWMENTALITYINC.com or mentaledge-fitness.com. That's MENTALEDGE-FITNESS.com.
And the positivity is not done. Papa, hang on. We coming back.
We coming back, Dad.
If it's Friday morning, your business matters. We'll be right back. And we are back. You are listening to WSIC. I am Joe Vagnone, and I am here with Tracy. She is a Mental Edge Fitness Solution Master. New Mentality PC. What does PC stand for?
Professional corporation, just something you got to get done when you...
Oh, so you trying to be all that.
Right.
Okay. All right. Excuse me, madam.
It's okay.
All right. Professional. So you don't just plug people up to some electronic wires. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, just a little bit. We hope that we know what we're doing, right? No, we've actually had a lot of success, and that's what I'm just thankful for every single day. When one of our clients, we actually got a message from a client last night, and she was just kind of raving about her child is truly happy that they had experienced some traumas and things like that, and they've come to us and trained with us, and that they're genuinely happy. And so that just confirmed the article that I'm going to talk about today. Happiness is the goal, right? Happiness, being happy. So that's just really a big deal for us.
Let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Awesome. So my homework was to pick out an article, and I found one about mindset matters.
Okay.
Choosing happiness is fundamental in building corporate success. This article was done by Jonathan Kaufman, and I thought this was a really, really good article for not only entrepreneurs, business owners, but just people in general. When we are looking at happiness, and whether it's in our work world or in our own general lives, this article talked a lot about how we're currently just overwhelmed with 24-hour news cycles, a constant flow of emails, an incessant need to be engaging on social media. There's so many new sets of pressures our society's facing, and that's causing a lot of stresses and anxieties. He went on to talk about how these things are really impacting the individual's psychological well-being. And he felt like creating solutions, companies must realize that investing in creating a healthy corporate culture is a central component of their business model, and it's paramount to their long-term success.
You know, this reminds me of some challenges some employees had of mine years ago where they just could not work with some of the people they had to work with.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it. Like, because I'm not that guy, right? Like, I will create different circumstances so that when I get up in the morning, I look forward to whatever it is I'm going to do, right?
Right.
This person found themselves in a situation that they didn't believe they can control. Is this talking about trying to control the circumstances? What is it actually talking about? Because there are people listening right now that say, man, I can't be happy because I got to sit next to Bobby all day long, and Bobby bothers me. In my case, it's Nakia, but you know.
I got you.
Nakia, she's defending you today.
Yeah, I got you,
know
Nakia. Don't you worry about him. I got you.
So is that what this is talking about here?
It is talking about that, and it's talking about us really kind of taking an inward look at ourselves, right? Because there's going to be stress all around us. So there are going to be things that we have to do individually for ourselves to help prevent burnout. And they define burnout as a vital state of exhaustion that can really create this energy depletion And if people are walking into an environment and the environment, or they're coming in with their own stuff, right? Because we don't know how people are walking in. We don't know what you went through to get here, right?
Right.
So we're all dealing with different things, but being mindful and taking care of ourselves, doing what we have to do on our end to do our self-care is going to help promote the happiness within, so that way we can spread it outwardly, right?
You know, you just said something that is so true that I don't even think about. I have no idea what your day was like before you and I met.
Right.
All I know is you came in the door with that pretty smile. That there was no way I was not going to have a happy day, right? But I have no idea what yesterday looked like or this morning looked like. And that is an interesting thought process, because if you think of it that way, you're going to be a little bit more cautious at how you treat people, because I really don't know.
That's right.
What an hour and a half looked like, you know, before you got here.
Absolutely.
That's an interesting thought process.
And you're right about that. But if we can be a little bit more compassionate, you know, and really take that time to look a little bit deeper to say, you know what is Johnny or Susie going through? And if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, happy employees, this is some statistics here, happy employees are 20% more productive.
I believe that.
20% more productive.
Absolutely. That matters.
It matters. If your team's happy, your customers are happy, right? So it all affects your bottom line if you're not thinking about this. So if there are business owners out here listening, that making sure the mental wellness of your team is a big component. It's not just about the numbers, the strategies, the deadlines. How are your people doing?
This reminds me. I have a lot of customers do a lot of retail stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a crusty old guy, you know, that would come to me and he would complain. This old crusty, he would come and he would complain. I don't know why those cashiers can't smile when they see a customer. And I looked at him. I said, "Well, have you asked them with a smile to do that?"
Right.
Because if I saw old crusty coming at me,
right,
I'm not going to be smiling back at him.
Right.
And he laughed at me, and he got it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he understood. He was asking them to do something that he was not doing.
Wow. That's powerful.
So it is interesting. Powerful. I'm telling you, how your staff feels matters.
Yes. Another big piece of this article, I think we just went over some of those things here.
Well, I'll tell you something that really works for me. When I get up in the morning, I feel a lot better if before I go to bed, I kind of make a list of things I want to do the next day.
Yeah.
So when I wake up in the morning, I am looking forward to trying to, I don't know that I'll accomplish all of them, right? But at least I have this
mindset,
direction that I can go, and that seems to make me feel better, and I'm not so anxious when I wake up. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, and then I feel I'm at control of when the phone rings.
Yes, that intention is powerful, and when you look at that from a brain state, when you are more intentional about whatever the challenge or the goal or the thing that you're reaching for, you tend to be a little bit more successful. If we're just stepping out reacting to what's going on around us, then we're behind, right? So I think what you just described, Joe, is an intention which sets your day off in a better place. So
your clients, are they like young, old, you know?
From 5 until we have, especially now that we're in the retirement community.
You are not hooking up no electrical plugs to a 5-year-old child.
You're getting the bell, buddy. We are hooking up 5-year-olds, and the younger, the better. If you think about brain development, the brain is a sponge. That's why kids can learn languages. They can learn these dance moves. They can operate a phone better than you and I can, because when they're younger, it doesn't take long for their little brains to catch on and get it. So we actually encourage people to bring their kids into us earlier, because we help get them on that track and that path. Neurofeedback has been proven to increase IQ. So we have a lot of data behind the science of what's going on with neurofeedback.
And that's interesting. So you could put a young child in front of the camera, in front of the computer screen,
yep,
and they will immediately know and see that they have lost focus, right?
Yes.
You won't have to say you're losing focus.
No.
They'll see it.
They'll be yelling and screaming and saying, "Hey, I can't see. Turn the dimmer up. Turn it on." That's really dark for them, so they're frustrated.
Turn the dimmer up, and you say, all you got to do is focus.
There you go.
That's going to be me.
Yep.
This thing is broke. So if they wanted to reach you, how can they reach you again?
Give us a call at 704-799-1270. That's the office phone number for New Mentality. Or visit us on the website, New Mentality Inc., NEWMENTALITYINC.com. Or for Mental Edge Fitness Solutions, give me a call at 919-606-2566. I know this is radio, so I got to say it twice.
Amen.
919-606-2566. Or visit the web. It's mentaledge-fitness.com. MENTALEDGE-FITNESS.com.
Tracy is the happiest woman on the planet. And you can be happy, too, if you go to New Mentality. Tracy, let's take a break. When we come back, you're going to introduce us to your first official guest as a co-host.
I cannot wait. She's amazing.
Now, this is going to be a challenge for you now. You understand?
I'm ready.
You officially going to be a co-host when we get back.
I'm officially going to be a co-host. Okay. I'm preparing my mind right now. Okay. Train the mind, the body will follow.